Hello and welcome back to the CHS Pulse, our very first virtual episode. I am Avery Buckman.
And I'm Kate Gallagher, and from our Pulse family to yours, we hope everyone is healthy. We want to especially thank the nurses, doctors, first responders, and anyone else who is still working through this. You know, for me it has been hard to find some fun activities to do during quarantine.
Me too, Kate. I've been watching Netflix all day long, but let's look at some fun family activities to keep us active and occupied.
Alright, I'm Jack Powers here with the CHS Pulse, and we're going over activities you can play outside with your family in quarantine. Activity number 1 is basketball. So to play basketball, you need the basketball, a hoop, and yourself. And I mean, if you really want to make it interesting, you can get some of your siblings to play against, but that's all. It's very family friendly. Activity number 2 is wiffle ball. So all you need is some of your family, and you can go outside and have a pitcher, and you just try to hit the ball with the bat. Alright, our next activity is football, and basically you can either do it tackle or two-hand touch, but my family ain't little babies, so we're doing tackle football. Just a family-friendly outside activity during quarantine is soccer. That's all, folks. Those are the fun, family-friendly quarantine activities you can do with your family.
Wow, that looked fun. I'll have to try it with my family.
Others have been occupying themselves in other ways too. They've been helping out the community.
Tessa and Anna Mason have been collecting iPads to hand out to others. Let's find out more in our next segment.
So we're working with a grassroots organization called FLAG, which is the Frontline Appreciation group, and it was founded in Chatham by a Chatham mom. And through this group, someone actually connected with the group saying that they were a nurse in a local hospital and asking for iPad donations, and that's how we got started.
So the purpose of the project is to get anything that has a camera and a screen that can do FaceTime, Zoom, Skype.
Resetting and refurbishing old iPads to send to hospitals because patients in the ICU in the final stages of their fight are unable to contact their family members before they pass away. So as I mentioned before, the FLAG group, we've been posting the Facebook page, and people just ask for people to donate their old iPads that they have just lying around.
They have been sending all of these iPads, dropping them off at our house. So then every couple of days we just get huge bags of iPads.
We've gotten over 50 iPads from just that Facebook page alone. We've also utilized the Chatham Community Forum and Chatham Consignment to get donations, and then when they come, we just have to reset them with an Apple ID, which is actually the simplest part of the process. This project is important to me because I honestly, and I'm not sure anyone can imagine a situation dying alone, which just sounds so painful to me. So if we're able to even take away a little bit of the family's burden, that is just so, it means the world to me.
It's crazy because we can see all of the FaceTimes that come through because they're all on the same Apple ID. As we've been doing more and more of it, it's been crazy to see that people have actually been using these iPads to talk to their family members. I just think it's so sad that people can't see their family members.
Just dealing with the weight of the magnitude of what we're doing, just knowing that even though we're doing something to help the hospitals, it's doing something that most people are going to die after using, which is just really sad to think about.
Because obviously it's for their own safety, they don't want people to get infected, but if I were in that situation, I would definitely want to be able to talk to my family.
I think on one hand, just being able to see someone for the last time is, as horrible as it is a memory that you want to have. You don't want to never see so the person's dying ever again. And also in some instances, it can be a little bit of a morale boost for the person who's fighting coronavirus. If they are able to talk to their family, it reminds them of something that they have to live for. It gets their body going again. The best part of the project has definitely been being able to see the impact of our actions.
Seeing all of the FaceTimes come through on the iPads. Actually, someone calls the iPad, all of the iPads ring at the same time. And when you're sitting downstairs in our basement, they all go off.
Being able to see that we're actually being used and having people continue to ask for donations, we've actually been able to send iPads to different hospitals now because other hospitals in the area have heard what we're doing and asked for them.
We have no charging blocks. We have chargers and iPads, but we have no blocks. So we just have a ton of iPads in our basement right now that we can't give out because we have no charging blocks to give out with them.
I think at this point I can just plug the FLAG group, the Frontline Appreciation group of Chatham and Madison. They've just been doing amazing, incredible work for the frontliners. And also just if you have any iPads or Kindles or iPhones to donate, we would really love to have them.
Through this tough time, I've been keeping up with friends and seeing what they have been doing to keep busy.
But have you ever asked yourself, what are the teachers doing to pass the time?
It's definitely been a change. I think it's just a lot of trial and error, and to kind of expect to be doing the exact same thing you'd be doing at work isn't really realistic. So you kind of have to be innovative. Like, you can't expect to teach in the exact same way. And it's definitely hard not to get distracted, because usually when you're at school, you don't have things like your TV and your snacks and all that stuff. So different for sure.
My experience teaching at home has been interesting. I'm not completely unfamiliar with teaching at home. I've actually been involved in some tutoring outside of Chatham High School that prepared me maybe a little bit more than some other teachers for online learning. So I had been using programs like Zoom for about a year with one-on-one tutoring gigs, or sometimes with tutoring with small groups. So I had a little bit of an idea about how it would work. But so I mean, I think the tutoring at home hasn't been a problem as far as meeting with kids and working things out with kids online. I was pretty comfortable with that. But I think the big issue just has been how many students it is. You know, I've never sort of dealt with 100 students that I have had to maintain an online remote learning relationship with, and that has certainly been a challenge.
I think the ability to help students via email is kind of hard, because if it's in person, you can kind of just show them what you're talking about, but on email, it's kind of hard to explain exactly what you mean. And also, there's just so many emails. I'm sure students are getting a lot of them too, but every time you check your email, there's like 50 new things. So just trying to keep up with them, remembering like what you answered and what you didn't answer yet. It's just a little bit overwhelming in that sense, I think.
Challenges that I've come across with remote learning, with a complete, with 5 complete classes, almost 100 students. I guess the way I was thinking about the question, and the way I would describe it is, if you were to come into school and all 100 of your students were absent one day, that's kind of what you're dealing with. You're dealing with all of these different moving parts, all of these different issues that separate students have, and school is this great equalizer. It's this great place where we all come together and establish certain rules and procedures in the classroom, and that's all kind of been thrown out the window. Certainly, you know, every student is an individual and has their own expectations and attitudes and behaviors, but this has exacerbated that difference between students. And I'm also, you know, an individual who has my own flaws and talents, and trying to find a way to make all of that work together has been probably the biggest challenge. I've been doing in my free time, I'm doing a little more walking than I usually do. I still haven't really gotten my mileage up, or in my case, I think it's really more of my yardage up. I'm good for about 100-yard walk, and I start huffing and puffing, so that's been a little bit rough. I'm trying to dig out some bamboo that's been growing in my backyard, thanks to a obnoxious neighbor. I have been spending some quality time with my wife and children. We have been playing a little bit of Rummy Cube. We've been making lunches together and playing video games on occasion, watching some videos. I did finally get to see Parasite and enjoyed that movie immensely, and watched a couple of other movies by the director. So I definitely have had that time to myself and with my family to kind of just relax.
Well, I definitely feel like I have lots of free time, so I've been trying to cook more adventurous things and read and try to do at-home workouts that I usually give up on in like 10 minutes each time. And what else? Cleaning. I've been like cleaning stuff out. That's pretty much it. It's not very exciting. I would say just hang in there. I know everyone's really upset about things that they're potentially missing. But I think especially from a school stance that for events that might be canceled coming up, I think it'll be more like postponement, and that we'll still have them and try to make them special, and just recognizing that everybody wants the high school students to have the best 4 years they can. So as much as we can do to help, like we're here to do that. So even if it means, you know, like drive-in movie style graduation or something like that, I'm sure that we'll try to make it happen, and just hang in there, and that we miss you.
If I could give advice to students, it would be to maybe try to make a little bit of a decision about which course or which subject matter you're enjoying most. Because of this dynamic that's so unfamiliar to us, where we've been taken out of a certain hectic scheduled life with all of the things that we are scheduled to do, whether it's sports, religious activities, musical activities, dealing with friends and stuff like that. All of that's been eliminated. So I wouldn't go so far as to say that students should like double down on their studies and read 3 books a week instead of just, 10 minutes during their English class every day. But I think maybe you could be a little more self-introspective and sort of think to yourself, which discipline in school do I like, and what would I really like to spend some time going further with as you work on your study.
With everything going on, it is hard to imagine myself not working from my bed and my parents not working from home.
Let's hear a story of what not working from home during the coronavirus really looks like.
Coronavirus. It's changed our world. As students, we have a choice to make, to follow the guidelines given to us or to not. This is a bigger responsibility than many people understand. It's up to us, each and every one of us, to help stop the spread of COVID-19. And it's easy for us to see the effect that it has on students because we're experiencing it right now. But it's just as important for us to understand the effect that it has on everyone else. By that I mean workers. As of early April, there are more than 10 million people unemployed in the US due to coronavirus, and the number's only going up. Even those who still have jobs are being affected by the coronavirus. But as someone whose main job right now is binge watching, I'm not exactly an expert on that. But someone who is my good friend Colleen.
Hi, my name is Colleen Weichert, and I'm a cashier at King's. Safety has changed, definitely. We have to wear masks and gloves, obviously. We're constantly cleaning our registers. We have tape saying like where people can and cannot stand, 6 feet apart. We're constantly cleaning. We actually have, I think, someone in now who just comes and cleans. That's it. That's their job. On top of, maintenance. We have sneeze guards up so that way people can't sneeze on us, and we actually have designated bagging areas. So, that's new. So crowds and orders definitely have changed. Everything is, a lot larger because people are buying more for stockpiling. I think my largest order this week was around $1,100, and the average order right now is probably around $300. People are standing 6 feet apart, so the lines look longer, but we still have 3 people in our lines at a time. Usually it's been very steady rather than just spurts of busyness. Three people in a line over, 5 registers is still a lot of people. Yeah, social distancing has definitely affected my job. Can't really bag for people unless they buy bags from the store. If they bring their own, usually I like to help them bag, but I'm not supposed to do that at the moment. People can't bag next to my monitor, which is something that they used to do if they only had a small order. I would just place it there and they would bag it there. people are a little nervous to touch the pin pads, so I kind of have to clean that between orders, or we have Q-tips now that people can use to press if they want to. Everyone has to stand 6 feet apart, which makes the lines look longer, even though they are still pretty long. You know, like I said, 3 people per register, 5 registers, still a lot of people. So yeah, it's definitely affected our jobs.
Coronavirus is affecting each and every one of us. But just by following the guidelines, you can help stop the spread of coronavirus. So, until this is all over, stay inside, wash your hands, social distance, and enjoy the extra sleep while you still can. And I hope to see all of you in school very, very soon.
That has concluded this week's episode of The Pulse Virtual Style.
We hope everyone is staying healthy, staying productive, and staying inside.